discovering the nature of the ego. So if we're on a spiritual path, we understand that the ego is really the only choice that we can, and there is the influence of the ego, and then there is life without the ego. And the spiritual path is to be in alignment, trying to get into flow, or get out of the clunkiness, get out of the aspects of the ego that stymie not just our progress, but our enjoyment of the experience of being human. And so what I'm sharing in this is a visual way or idea that's in progress about how to kind of visualize through the visual, like literally the visual sense, ego. And so how can we do this? So what's coming to me is a relationship with something called a Mandelbrot. So if you don't know what a Mandelbrot is, first of all, there's in the description, there'll be a link to an example of a Mandelbrot that would be kind of from my perspective of why I'm creating this video, this on this topic. So you can watch that first, or I'll just give you a quick little understanding. A Mandelbrot is a mathematical algorithm that was created and was named after the guy who created Mandelbrot, that creates these visuals, and they just are these never-ending, very trippy kind of videos. So hopefully you've seen them. If not, go back and watch it after this if you want to have an understanding. But basically these Mandelbrots you're flying kind of forward, or it seems like you're flying forward into a world, and you're going into these really amazing geometrical designs, and then when it seems like you're just about to reach the pinnacle of something, it opens up into something big, and something grander, and it's just this constant progression. And if you just sit and watch them, it's very trippy. And give you an example is I did this with my daughter. We watch them for about 5 or 10 minutes. You can just get lost in it, just like you're in a fire, and then look away, or look at like something like a picture on the wall, and something stable, and you'll notice it does something interesting. But anyway, it's kind of a meditative process to watch these Mandelbrot. So the idea of this visual is that the nature of the ego stymies our progress, or it mires us down, it holds us down, it makes our journey more sluggish. Feel like it's taking a long time to get through things, that sort of thing. So really what I'm all about, and what Paradigm B is all about, is balance and harmony. So what's the sense of balance and harmony? And there's an equilibrium that we feel when we're in balance and when we're harmonizing. We feel in flow with things. You can put that in a million different situations where you just feel like you're participating with what's going on, like you're part of it. You're part of the organism that's happening as a human being. And so that's what we strive for. So we're looking for that. That's where we want to put our attention. Well, the idea of a Mandelbrot then would be, as you're watching these, there's these different sensations that might occur to you. For me, they're just beautiful, but it's just like an ever-changing art that constantly changes, and then you're just like, ooh, I really like that one. Oh, I really like this one. I really like this one. I really like this one. And so the idea is how to integrate the idea of the ego with these Mandelbrots. So in flow, what's happening as I'm watching a Mandelbrot is I'm having these Ooh, I like this one. Oh, this one's great. This one's great. And so it's these fluctuations of emotion or feeling that just keep coming to me, and I'm experiencing them as I'm watching a Mandelbrot. Now, if I got hung up with what, let's just call them multiple Mandelbrats, that's probably not correct, but let's just do it. That there's just like a snapshot. So if you took the video and took a snapshot of it, and then you took a snapshot at another place, and you might make a value judgment. Well, I like this one better. I like this one better. But what if you're just in a state of experiencing and just going, ooh, this feels good. This feels, ooh, that one's cool. And this one, you're going back and forth emotionally. And to be in balance and harmony, you would be watching this Mandelbrot having kind of this gentle impulse of sensation that goes through you as you're watching this. It's that meditative state that you can get into. It's where the ego would show up in real life, would be to judge a particular static part of the Mandelbrot. So let's just say all of a sudden you just go, oh, I don't like this one particular scene. And so when you get there and you start judging it, then let's just say that's what stymies. That's when you stop moving in flow, and now you are trying to diagnose something. So you could be focused on things. So the whole idea is, or could be, is that to kind of think of the sensation like a Mandelbrot, and even to take Mandelbrats into a meditative state, to where when you watch them, you work, with see what your mind tells you about the nature of this, with this idea of the ego, and seeing your attachments to things. Because you see, this is kind of the Buddhist philosophy of non-attachments. All of a sudden in this, it's like, yes, as we go in this beautiful world, we just experienced an incredible sunset. Now, we've had pretty incredible sunsets every day, but then there's been like 2 since we've been here in maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks that have been better. It's a value judgment, but they've been like, but that's kind of how life is. It's like, it's this breathing. Sometimes we're feeling happy and sometimes we're feeling sad, and it's these different gyrations and oscillations of sensation that we go through life. And the whole idea of this, and one of the things that possibly moving forward towards an egoless, or bypassing the ego and experiencing reality in flow, would be that there would be more oscillation in joy than there would be in all those other ways of perceiving reality with the ego. So this is just a thread that's been coming through lately, and so interested in your thoughts.